the thing I'd like to think is very certain is that whatever those problems are, 25 years from now, Emily will be sitting here and she'll be talking to someone who she has inspired and mentored about the problems they are solving and the ones that they'll be solving in the next 25 years.
I would say thank you so much. Thank you for patience and understanding, and just thank you for taking the time, because for some things I may not get the first time or whatever, but thank you for being patient and getting to this point.
Well, thank God. I thought you were going to tell me to retire already.
No, I don't know what we'd do without you.
Yeah, I'm not quite ready.
Oh,
but
okay. We'll see you in 25 years.
As long as there's people like you that I think give me hope, give us hope for the future, I'm all in.
Please welcome Christopher Capon, Matthew Lugo, and Ulrike Nostitze to present outcomes from this year's EMER-GEN program.
Aloha, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today and sticking around after the technical sessions are over. I really hope you appreciated the last one, especially because actually Francois was part of the EMER-GEN program this year. So for a show of hands, how many of you have participated in EMER-GEN either this year or in the past? Okay, fair amount, fair amount. So before I go into oh, the clicker. So what is EMER-GEN and what do we do? Well, EMER-GEN takes place every year at AMOS, a couple days before the start during the Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And it really tries to offer a professional development and leadership towards the younger generation. And really what it does is it offers really excellent mentorship capabilities and essentially tries to stimulate the mind of the young generation and encourages them to think creatively, and come up with a whole bunch of new ideas and lead the way to the future. So I'm Matthew Lugo.
I'm Oli.
And I'm Chris.
Oh, sorry, that was the wrong photo. Here you go. Oh.
We don't have our slides up.
Oh, there you go.
So the EMER-GEN program always tries to offer a sense of place for the international cohort. People come from all over the world, some of which are from the US, some of which, Japan, France, and a lot of whom have never been to Hawaii before. And so what we really try and offer is a sense of place and really try to get them to understand the history and culture of Hawaii. And so this year we had Mike Nahol, PE, the executive director of Koho'olawe Island Reserve Commission, and he came and talked and offered his perspective on 30 years of stewardship of Koho'olawe, and including the military cleanup there, and so of which he oversaw. So I think the main takeaway from that was the cohort really saw a sense of stewardship and responsibility and a lot of parallels from the work that they do to the work that the next generation is trying to do in space. And essentially, mitigation now is more powerful than remediation in the future. Then Doug Lavero came and talked to us, and so what Doug really wanted to try and do this year is he wanted to offer more of a dialogue between us and him, and he really wanted to know what the young generation thinks about the future of space policy. And so he came to us with a list of ideas about what he thinks is maybe should be prioritized, and we narrowed that down through a bunch of debate and came up with a list of 3 things. Goal 1, placing us on the road to an international space traffic management accord. Goal 2, renowned US leadership in space debris and maintaining the US's position as a leader in the space domain. And 3, rethinking NASA's role in the 21st century, as we all believe that NASA is at its best when it's a leader of new technology and pioneering new science. And so keep an eye out, because Doug is actually going to write an op-ed about this, and it's titled Dear President, the Future of Space, and it should be coming out in the next few days or weeks. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. That was actually also a perfect session to start the day on a Monday, and a perfect introduction to what we were about to do after that, which was a consensus building exercise. So we played the space policy game, and at that stage I really want to thank the Astroscale team, and especially Becky, Lexi, and Christine, who were there on the day providing all the information that we needed to play the game, and all the background information that we might need to know what is policy, what is law, what's the difference between the two, and really everything that we needed. So thank you very much for that. So now, what is the game and how to play it? So what we were doing essentially, we were split into different roles, which were all fictional roles. So some of us would have been sovereigns or states, some were advisories, and some were, space stakeholders, industry stakeholders in the company. And we were all discussing, and we were discussing on whether or not to sign a space situational awareness cooperation treaty or not. And before we came to the final vote on whether to sign it or not to sign it, we actually discussed the wording of 3 articles of such treaties. What was interesting to see was that a couple of articles were quite contested, and one we actually found a majority vote to change the wording completely in the end, so that was a very, very fun thing to see. And the last article, the third one, we achieved an anonymous support for it, so everybody voted for the same wording, so that was really great work of everybody. Then in the end, the final vote was quite tight, but we did decide to sign a treaty, which was also really nice to see, and it gave us a great real-life experience of how to negotiate, how to talk to one another, how to bring your point across, to share your viewpoints, how to negotiate, find friends, allies, maybe manipulate a few people. Yeah, we had incentive cards with some money that some people collected. So that was really fun. People had different strategies. But yeah, it was a good way to see how it works in real life, maybe, and how difficult it can be in the international setting to find consensus on a treaty like that. And I think our cohort did an amazing job to communicate and to work together as a team. The fictional roles felt really real in the end. We got really into it. So thank you, everybody, for playing the game with us. After that, next we had a panel discussion on pathways to career success. Here I also want to thank all the panelists that came and gave their talk, and just gave us insights of where they started their careers, what they're doing now, or where to go next, and whether it's to build a company or to change jobs or anything really. They gave amazing advice, and it was really, really great to hear all of that. And I think we really learned that you can do whatever you want to do if you set your mind to it. There's really no limit to it. It was very inspirational, so thanks so much for all the panelists. You can see a picture of them up on the screen. And after that, we had a speed mentorship session, which just as the panel discussion was super insightful for us as young professionals, here we actually had the great opportunity to have one-on-one time with our mentors in much smaller groups. So we were like 3 to 4 people with different mentors, had a lot of time to talk to them, ask them all the spicy questions that we've never asked them before. Maybe we're too embarrassed to ask them, in front of everybody else. We got amazing advice once again, and they're also connected with us after the session. So it wasn't just limited to the session. And here as well, I want to thank all the mentors that came and gave us so much advice. And I think what I personally got out of it, and I know that some people got the same out of it as well, is that if there isn't your dream job in the space industry just yet and you're still looking for it, you can just create it yourself. And I think, just be courageous enough, go out there and just do what you really want to do. It doesn't always need to fit a certain role. Absolutely inspiring. I came out of there, feeling so motivated and inspired, and I feel like I can take on the world. So thank you so much, everybody, and all the mentors for coming to that session.
And that was Monday. No, we did a lot in the event, but it started weeks beforehand, because the first day was really about policy, relationship building, but the next day, Tuesday, was about an innovation challenge. And so in the lead up to the event, we had great speakers and panels come talk about the Innovation Challenge this year, which, if we go to the next slide, was about Apophis. So for those who don't know, in 2029, Apophis is an asteroid that will be going through the geobelt. And so the question that was posed and the challenge to the cohort for Tuesday was, in 3 hours, work out how we can generate an enduring benefit to humanity from events like Apophis. And we had not only a great cohort doing it, we had some really great judges. So special thanks to Travis, to Paul, and to Lisa Thompson for coming and adding a sense of realism to what we're doing. Because in 5 years' time, the idea was, if we can come up with a good idea, then maybe we could actually do it. And so, next slide. We went through a lot of ideas. We split into 7 teams. We were roughly directed to look at, do you want to do space policy? Do you want to try and advance space science or come up with a service or product? And the teams really got into it. We had everything from a new idea for how could we use Apophis to create or incite momentum to get UN policy for how we would react to these types of events in the future, to how could we advance the state of science, or SDA. However, it was a pitch competition, and there can be only one winner. And so this year, the winner was TICSAT. So let me break that down a little bit for you, because essentially the innovation idea here was that NEOs, like Apophis, are rideshare opportunities, where we could change the way we explore the universe by putting a small tick onto asteroids so that we could go out, get some data, and then maybe it comes back and we can get the data back from the asteroids. So we had a lot of fun doing that, but one of the key bits of value you get out of any event like this, whether it's AMOS, whether it's EMER-GEN, is the networking. Meeting people, building relationships, and coming up with ideas. And we came up with a lot of ideas, and we had a lot of fun. And for those of you who have met someone from EMER-GEN, thank you for taking the time to have a chat with them. It means everything to them, and it means we can grow a good industry together. So with that,
Mahalo nui loa and hui ho.